Anyway, so that's online right now. I don't know if anybody listened to it. I can't even see my system there. Let's pull the YouTube uh show. Pull up the YouTube show. Is that visible? Can you see that? You can see that. Shaw stock event. YouTube Studio. Elemental Law. We want to watch comments. Just in case somebody actually shows up here and gives a fuck. Tell me to shut the fuck up. They're like, shut the fuck up, man. Oh, we don't care about anything. Anyway, it's a pretty boring video otherwise. There's this piece of text that sits in the screen, and I guess we can keep up a presentation of fucking YouTube. Resident Evil Outbreak was too ahead of its time. Anyway, so cultural conference finds routine conflict with bureaucratic conference. So the whole idea here is that like everything we're doing can kind of be resolved into conferentialism on a formal interpretation, and is perpetrated against would-be constitutionalists simply because the value of conferential ethics is hyper elastic. Literally, dumb objects can stand a term of conference. A term of conference and uh, invade the polemics of any given context. Let's see here. We're gonna pop over back here to the Substack for a second. And copy. Nature of the case. What is this? This is an old video. I'm like sitting there talking into the fucking microphone there on some old ass video. Is this thing on? It's supposed to always be streaming. It's better to do careful uploads than to waste tons of time. Maybe we'll just do a careful upload. Because we're not really streaming to talk to anybody. I'm not going to listen to your fucking opinion. But still, it should appear. Anyway, whatever. Best skate park in Utah. That's right, we're streaming out of Utah. So, contextualist originalism argues it does not want to interpret the Constitution. It is arguing the Constitution of the United States of America is its own strict conference. That's to say, its own strict conference. The phrase textualist originalist is a misstatement and is a comparable preoccupation with the categorical value of constitutional conservatism. Let's see if we can get just the desktop. Because what we want here. What the fuck is this text? There's a display capture, but I don't think the display capture rule is going to be very good. Yeah, there's not shit there. Window capture. Video capture device. Text GDI plus. Image. Oh, an image. I can just add it. I guess we can just pick an image. I kind of wish it would capture my desktop though. Or have her. We've been reading. And that is the image that's sit at the bottom. We're still figuring this stuff out. I don't know what the hell to do with it yet. Unload image. Apply alpha in linear space. Fit to screen. There it is. That's our attempt to write this, to write it. Anyway, so when textualist originalism argued it doesn't want to interpret the Constitution, how the Constitution should not be interpreted. It is arguing the Constitution of the United States, such and such, is its own strict conference. The phrase text is a misstatement and is a comparable preoccupation with the categorical value of constitutional conservatism. More critically, we can naturally infer terms as cultural leadership. So there's this fun statement that we're looking for here. The textualist originalist performing this analytical feat, performing this analytical feat is attempting to prove that constitutionalism is governable because it can be because the people can be discriminated against. And lawyers, we don't need to go into the lawyers help other lawyers. We're not trying to write a whole diatribe. That's the formal argument, more or less. Like if you think of like Brett Kavanaugh is looking at this, and what Brett Kavanaugh has is a kind of perspective against discriminating directly against religion and against the idea that no law respecting religion is workable as an operative term because it's just too difficult to prove that this term should or should not be workable. Here's the skateboarder. Loisa Ramirez. Jesus. That's pretty heavy aggro. Dude looks like a skinhead. Ow. Anyway, this video is pretty funny. That's too intense for me. I mean, I think I used to be able to skate stuff like that. I don't think I ever put enough money into skateboarding to be able to afford to skate like that. That's just gnarly. So what is that? A bike dragging him up? That's bomb.
Hi, my name is Samwise. I'm 42 years old.
Here we go. That's my name. Don't wear it out. I'm always like, where the hell is that? It's cool. What are we trying to do there? He's gonna do the hard flip. Oh, that's bomb. No way. Way, he's got it. He's got it. What the fuck is this video? It's bomb. I guess it's Samwise skateboarding video. Jeez, I guess we gotta get out there. No excuse. Here it comes. Oh yeah, that one almost stuck. There it is. They're easy. It's on Cover Girl magazine now. Anyway, whatever it is. What's that? Huh. Here's a picture of Christy Gnome on my front page. Ice Barbie's complaints. CBS is announcing policy shift. That's fucking crazy. Ooh. Is that the video that says that sports isn't free? One man spent 38 years digging a tunnel. I'll tell you about my tunnel. Aphex Twin. Korg Funk. Who's posting Aphex Twin? It's like another video. He's like, you just want the dollar.
Monologue.
Is that supposed to be bomb? Interesting. Someone's been playing Lies of P. Anyway, so when touchless originalism, Argo does not want to interpret the Constitution, how the Constitution should not be interpreted. So here's the big kicker on that point. The textualist originalist performing this analytical feat is attempting to prove that constitutionalism is governable because the people can be discriminated against. The Constitution can be governed like any other conference. And the ulterior corollary, corollary argument, we've kind of been struggling with this word theontic, theos, ontos. It's relatively theon. It's relatively theontic. It's relatively theontic. We don't want to rib too much on that as a rule, just because, religion's a little sensitive. You could go there, though, More critically, we can naturally infer terms such as cultural conference and social conference, partisan conference, and identify elements of conference such as agenda and leadership, organization, vestiture, and identify tautological conditions of consent, dissent. The contemporary cultural resolution of Western civilization for some reason believes conference to be intuitively consistent with conservatism. You know this is true because people refuse to testify the error. That's kind of fancy. Oh, there's the stunning conclusion. I haven't seen this video. I keep seeing all these kind of aggressive Sabrina Carpenter videos, but none of them actually had whole music on them. I guess that's the video. When textualist originalism argues it does not want to interpret more critically, we can naturally infer terms such as cultural conference and social conference, partisan conference, and identify elements of conference such as agenda and leadership, organization, vesture, and identify tautological conditions of consent and dissent. The contemporary cultural resolution of Western civilization for some reason believes conference to be intuitively consistent with conservatism. This is true because people refuse to testify the error, but the resulting condition of false parity on a formal interpretation is perpetrated against would-be constitutionalists simply because the value of the conferential ethics is hyper-elastic. Literally dumb objects can stand in front of a conference and invade the polemics of any given context. The limits. So we say. So what we're getting at here is this longer idea, and what you want to say here is limits of cultural revolution, cultural conference, and so what we say is so democratic republicanism per se observes distinct cultural, I guess we'll call it political and constitutional conferences, and pollutes the elemental law. The elemental law and pollutes the elemental law. Classical liberals will admit that pollution is just a power grab. Is a sheer attempt at standing power. What's she saying? She's like standing there, ominous laugh, screeching chords. She isn't deaf because this is a music video. Harsh. We should listen to the new Boy Harsher. TikTok. That's way hyped.
I'll give you what you want. A little communication, yes, that's my ideal foreplay. Assemble a chair from IKEA, I'm like, I get wet at the thought of you. Being the responsible guy.
Wow.
Like you're supposed to do.
So it's pretty intense. Oh, those tears. I'm totally perplexed by this video. Yeah, it's totally selling it. That's pretty bomb. Wait, so who's the dude? Huh.
Baby! I'm so glad you're okay.
Wait. No.
I've been looking everywhere for you.
You died earlier, I thought.
Babe, what are you talking about?
No. It's a thing. Someone has to die every video.
Wait, what?
So,
Sorry.
so does that
Why are
mean
you
she's
being
not
weird
straight?
right now?
We'll always remember you, though.
Yeah, that's exactly what that shit is. Jesus. Dead man.
He was a nice one, too.
This is like endless context.
We have to give the people what they want.
Weird. Featuring Coleman and Domingo. Anyway, I guess there's worse stuff on TV. There's Shepherd's Reign. Is that new metal? Jesus. Democratic Republicanism per se observes distinct cultural, political, and constitutional conferences and pollutes the elemental law. It is generally far simpler uh, uh, to plead directly to the justice, to uphold an elemental term, and not above a conferential term, because otherwise they misstate everything and resolve relatively weak conferential interpretations. conferential interpretations. Conferentialism is about that simple.